Hi everyone, thank you for joining me, Wendy Anderson, justbe.me. It's okay to descend to ascend is the message that I've had today. So many of you may be feeling I've taken 10 steps backwards. You know, I felt like I've just got this thing kind of like in alignment, and now I'm just feeling all over the place. So this is all part of the Ascension. So wherever you are right now is still part of it. So even if you are symptomatic or you were in pain at the moment, it's all part and parcel. It's all part of ascending. You are still ascending. So you may be at a phase at the moment where you've ascended and your frequency gets to a certain level. So then relationships are coming into review. Now, when I say relationships, it's not just relationships with other people. It could be relationship with your work. It could be relationships with your locality, your home. It could be relationship with you, with yourself. So relationships are really coming into the field of perspective to review contracts. So if your frequency is changed, and you will have been tested around this, so there's a test at the moment as well. So basically, how calm can you be whilst this shit hits the fan test? So, and it's all good, it's all fine. So it's while the chaos is going on around you, how can you hold your own? And it's, you can use your practices. But even some of you out there may be going through, say, maybe relationship grief. So you may be grieving the ending of a relationship. And that could be that somebody's passed, or you've had to let a relationship go because it really, really wasn't serving you. You've actually worked out that the relationship was actually causing you more harm than good. So in some ways that's kind of harder to let go of a relationship like that than somebody that has passed, because there's lots of guilt around it as well. So again, there's lots of emotional things coming up, really being shaken up to the surface, like a fart in a bath. It's all coming up to the surface. And some of you may be feeling, do you know what, I'm reviewed out. You know, kind of like these symptoms I've got, these emotions I've got. I've emotion code to the hill, I've body coded to the hill, I've done past life stuff. And do you know what? I thought I'd done with it. But here it is, raising up again. So if you are here, it's okay to take a pause from the review process. Get back to simplicity. Get back to being in the body. Go for a walk, go for a run, movement, yoga. If you can't manage yoga, some yin yoga. If you can't even manage that, just turn up on your mat with a blanket and a cushion. If you can't manage that, then it's okay to turn up on your couch with a blanket on a cushion, and a box set on Netflix. You know, kind of like, you may be at the point where it's kind of like, I am done with this shit. Great, beautiful. It's still a beautiful place to be when you are hitting this spot, because what you are also subconsciously feeling and doing when you come to that point of, I am done with all this, is literally you are rewriting a new soul contract. And you are literally saying, I am done with learning life lessons through the same patterning, through the same programs, through the same vows even. I am letting go because I am done with it. So in that moment of feeling into it and feeling I am done, you know, that surrendered, beautiful surrendered state of I am done, then you've got this. So it's just to say that if you are here in this phase at the moment, you are just to let you know what is going on underneath the surface. You are dropping old stories, old contracts, old ways of being. Yeah, you'll go through a little mourning process of letting go and surrendering. So there'll be agony, anger, guilt, sadness, fear, lack of joy, all these old ways of being that as we have been learning from as human beings, and so beautifully to be responsible creators that we are stepping into, and we are stepping into the new, and we are stepping into new learnings, we are stepping into sowing new seeds. So we will begin in new programs, learning through joy, through the high heart center, through intentional living, through being present in every now, and what intention do I want to place in every now. So the mind is a really, really important tool for this. And you may have spent the last few days, weeks, months where your mind has literally been all over the place. Monkey mind. And thoughts that have come into it and you're like, what the heck? Well, where did that thought come from? Why am I thinking this? So if you are here as well, can I just be the observer of my thoughts? What's coming in? Don't judge anything that's coming in. You know, these is you releasing our ways of being, releasing our vows, releasing our contracts, and it's literally your mind is just bringing it all to the surface like a big fart in the bath that can stink, to literally, I'm done. I am done. Great. That's when we start a new contract with ourselves and the universe. Beautiful place to be right now. So allow the thoughts. If you can manage it, can I get back to stillness, the silence? So this way of being is your authentic self. It is you before the soul was even created, the nothingness. And then the spark comes in, and then it's the potentials of everythingness. So all your phases of evolution are so beautiful from the nothingness of authenticity. So can you reach that state in all these programs as well? Can I get back to the nothingness of no judgment and just be the observer of everything that is coming in and coming up in the mind? Because if you can manage to, right, okay, then I'm trying to calm the mind and I'm trying to bring in nothingness. And when I imagine nothingness, it's just literally a dark sky at night with the stars in it. You need the darkness, otherwise you would never see the light. So the dark and the light are equal. So this is why there is beauty in ascending, into descend to ascend. The darkness from the light is something still beautiful, because we can't bring it into the light without it being in the dark. So there's all sorts going on. So from that empty place of nothingness, what do you want to choose on an individual level to put into your field of experience? And you know, there's unlimited potentials here, because you are an unlimited creator being. There may be things in the external that will try and thwart your creations, halt your creations, stop your creations, pause your creations, piss all over your creations. Can I hold awareness to where this is coming into my field? This is just an old story that I have agreed to in order as a human to experience a experience that isn't tapped into my creative field. However, again, most of you are saying, I'm done with that. I'm done with that experience. I've got the videos, the t-shirts, tea towels and everything, merchandise to that one. I am done. So then in that I am done emotional field and really feeling into it authentically, what you are saying is contracts, screwed up, set on fire, thrown away, literally nothingness again. So it comes back into the nothingness phase and field. Beautiful. So then what is it you want to write right now? And it will be individual for each unique soul that is having an experience on this planet right now. What is it that you want to do? What keeps your heart open? So you've heard me in other videos talking about the trapdoor of the heart. What closes it? You know, it could be a driver. It could be somebody you're in a relationship with. It could be your home that's just doing your boxing. You know, it could be anything that you've closed the trapdoor in your heart to. Can I transform it? Can I either change it completely, or like Groundhog Day, can I still repeat the experience but hold a different mentality and perspective around it? So some of you may be choosing this as well, and that's okay. It's all part of the learning. But some of you as well are choosing, I'm completely done with that one. I'm over it. So this is kind of like the karmic cycles and the stories and the vows and the contracts and all of everything of that was going on. That some of you are choosing no more. No more. I'm opting for something really completely different right now. Beautiful, because then what you're actually tapping into is your creative abilities as a creator, DNA expansion. Your imagination could start to get awesome. Surrender into it. You may be guided to a completely different path to what you've currently been on. And that's simply because in your heart, how you have felt, it's, I'm sick of that path now. I want something new to experience and travel on. I want a different journey. It's almost kind of like saying, do you know what? I've been to Blackpool for, every year for 20 years now. And do you know what? I want to go to Spain. It's literally saying something like that. So how you are feeling, trust your authenticity and surrender into it. If you are done with certain relationships, with all of the above list, beautiful. This is tapping into the field of learning what it is to be a responsible creator. But it's also learning to let go of, do you know what, the fear of creation. Because we are also feeling this as well, letting go of the fear of creation, because we have created experience for ourselves and we have contracted into it and we have agreed to it. Because if you are experiencing it, you've agreed to it at a subconscious level, just purely to experience and learn. So there's no judgment around anything that has been created. So you will have been creating in lack, you will have been creating in sadness, you will have been creating in anger, you will have been creating in fear. So because we've been creating in all those fields, it's kind of like we've got to the point where it's kind of like, because I'm done with that, I don't want to recreate that. So there's almost a fear of creation. So you may be at the moment in this field of pause, of I don't want to move forward because I am in fear of creating the exact same scenario. Great, as long as you are wearing it, put that into your field, put that into your attentional field. I don't want to create the same thing. I literally am done. I do not want to create the same thing. But then what you can put into your field is, well, what do you want to create in your field? I want to create heart-centered living. I want to create heaven on earth. I know to the core of my being that that is a potential and a possibility to create heaven on earth for me as an individual. What does that entail? What does that look like? What does that feel like? What does your heaven feel like? Because every single heaven is going to be created differently. Just like hell is created differently. So it's choosing as individuals, now what do you want to create? Now what do you want to experience? You are a creator being and your potentials and possibilities are infinite. What do you want? Which is really hard to decide what you want when you've been in trauma, because you would have created from a space that other people wanted you to turn up in. So it's recognizing that as well, and this is the why we're getting rid of some of the relationships to homes, people and work, because we've learnt to turn up in a capacity to create and please for others. This is why the people pleasing program is quite exciting and interesting to let go of as well, and to get into your authenticity of I'm just going to say how it is now. I'm just going to be how it is now. That is really, really scary for a lot of you, because when you've turned up in that authentic space, you've been ridiculed for it, persecuted for it, isolated for it. Can you see a little pattern coming on here? So it's releasing that trauma of those old pattern states of being as well. And this is why there's a fear around the next creation stage. So how do I get past that fear of creating in the next creation stage? Courage. Walk with the fear. Make it your best mate. This is how I'm feeling. I'm feeling fear. Do you know what? I'm going to lean into it. It's like leaning into the wind. I'm going to lean into the fear. So whatever it is as an individual right now that you've got a fear of decision making, choosing, changing, transforming, letting go, you will all have something. We all got something. You'll still feel fear, and that's okay. But can I also create courage at the same time? So it's courageously moving forward as a creator. If you are not ready yet, I've literally seen butterflies and feathers everywhere today. If you are not ready yet, it's okay to take that pause. You may have some trauma healing still going on. Give yourself the time. But then at some point, and your thumbs will start aching or giving you the message, so right is past, left is present. So if your thumbs start aching, where is it that you are not giving yourself the thumbs up to do what you need to do? And you can kinesiology, do I need to rest and pause and just take some time out for me? Do I need to get over myself and just put one foot in front of the other and take a step forward? So, you can tap into that field and really kind of have that relationship, that intimate relationship with self. So ask yourself, what is it that you need? not what you think you need. It's like, what is it that my heart is telling me that I need? And sometimes getting over yourself and moving forward can be the release in itself as well, because it's like when you have completed something that is challenging, and once you come to that completion, you're like, I did that. I literally did that. And I'm here and I survived it. And I'm here to tell a tale and the story of it. So you may be at the foot of the mountain and getting ready to climb again. And you may think, oh God, I've climbed this mountain again and I'm back down here. You've been to the market to collect nutrients. You know, that's okay. You will ascend again. But when you are rested, when you are fed. For me, I was finding the comfort of the rest and being fed a little bit too much. So at some point, you know, your body will let you know it's time. And maybe if you are in pain at the moment, it may be your body signaling to you, lean into it, love it, accept it, take a little bit of rest that you need, but also at the same time, can you plant the seeds of even just gathering your equipment to get up the mountain, tying your shoelaces to get up the mountain, and then have another rest. Take it easy, take it slow. There's this mountain climbing, there's no race in it. There's no race. You've got all the time in the world. You are divinely supported in the time, because it's divine timing, and that the timing isn't propagated by anyone else, by you. So give yourself that time you need. So this is just highlighting where I have been at as well. So I am feeling all of you, I feel it. But this may be some words of comfort to those of you that feel that you're beating yourself up a little bit at the minute. How can you take this time out to celebrate yourself, congratulate yourself, because you've been up that mountain, you've seen it. But you know what? So this is just coming in as well at the minute. So where is it that you'll be taking people up the mountain with you this time? You've done it alone and you've done it independently. Where is it that you will be a co-creator? And where is it that, I'm going all goose pimply talking about this, so there's something coming in about this. Where is it that you will be the guide up the mountain and people will be coming with you? Because you've done it. So you know how to do it. So again, there may be projects coming in that involve other people. You may need to experience a level of support that you have never felt before by the people that you'll be climbing with and journeying with. So you will be held in a completely brand new experience, and you may need to experience this in support. So I know when beings are creating planets and civilizations, we are told that, you know, God just one bearded man has done it in 7 days, no less. But what actually happens is it is created by collectives. So groups of beings that are artisans in their own field. So whether that be grids, earth grids, whether that be mountain building, fauna planting, you know, whatever that is, it's all done as a team. And if any member of that team becomes fatigued in the creation, they can take time out and the other team members will fill in for them. They'll not do it in exactly the same way as the artisan, but they will still be able to hold space for the team member that is tired and needs to take a rest. So we are learning as beings on this planet we've learned how to create as individuals. Now we are learning to co-create in teams. And you'll all recognise each other's uniqueness. But in that uniqueness, you'll recognise each other's value. And because if you can recognise somebody else's uniqueness and value, you'll recognise your own uniqueness and value. But then as a team, you'll start creating magical things. And you'll guide one another on different levels of the mountain climb. And whereas one person is tired, you will support the rest of the team and you will keep going. Okay, so kind of like the daily disciplines that we've had to have done in the past just to stay upright, to support ourselves, and in some ways to support another temporarily. We'll not need to do that as much because working as part of groups and teams, you all share energy. There's equally, so you'll not need to do those principles as often or as much. You'll all support one another energetically. Whereas before, people were at different levels on the journey, and some people needed to take more energy than give it. But you contracted to do this as a light worker, so that's fine. Whereas now it's kind of like it was getting to the point where people may have been taking too much and you'd agreed to that, and it's kind of like, no, cut that off. Come back to supporting myself. Right, now it's time for a new journey, in a co-creation journey with other beings that have also been doing the work, and you will support one another energetically. So this is the new that is coming in. Monopolies I'm going to talk about in another video. That word coming, but I'm going to talk about it in something else. So like Jesus and the disciples, there was a reason why he had parties of 12s or 24, and it was always equal male female energy. So again, you may find yourself, and you may start off with 3, 6 or 9, but it will always be a multiple of 3 in some way. So you may start off with a certain number. Now we'll just see where this goes. We'll just see where that goes. But numbers are coming into it. The mathematical equation of 3, 6 and 9 is coming into it. And that will be the number of whatever group you consist of. When things start to get too large in a group, they become unmanageable, unsustainable. So keep your group small to a certain number in a multiple of 3. Because if it gets outside of that number, or just be aware of where your group is growing and it gets unmanageable. There'll be another group created to facilitate the rest. So there's going to be many groups created to facilitate. So small groups. I've got this picture of a flower. Small groups were being created with an inner circle to support the outer circle. And I always see that symbol of concentric circles as home, the heart. You're coming in, you're going out, you're coming in, you're going out, like breathing, contraction and expanding. So symbolically, there's a supportive energetic field in that mathematically. And now I'm getting the symbol of pi in my head for some reason as well, and that equation. And it's something to do with communications and choices. Okay. And that's it. So I will let that one unravel and unfold as time goes on. If there's any more information that comes in about that, there'll be more information that comes in about it. I've also got equality, mathematical equality and energetic equality. That all has to be equal. But the 3, 6 and 9s, there's something about an equality equation within those mathematics that I don't understand. I'm not a mathematician, I don't understand maths. It kind of bored me at school the way they taught it, so kind of like just my brain wouldn't entertain. But yet patterns and in that way are kind of like really interesting. Anywho, anything else that I need to come in, or is that it? That's enough for now. So take it or leave it. I hope it brings some of you comfort. Whatever it is that you are feeling into right now, whatever it is that you are creating right now, what is it? Is being aware of what you are contracting to. You've contracted to everything that we've experienced. Where is it that you are done with the old contracts? Where is it that you are done with the old vows? So these could be even vows in chastity even. So do you know what? You may be done with that. Maybe you now want to feel the co-creation and connection of another person. And the pleasures and passions of that, and where is it that you vow to disconnect from that, and that's okay. You know, it's part of a discipline. You've held that experience, there's no right or wrong in it, but where is it potentially that you are going to be using that energy to move forward? So watch out for that too. Vows, lack, you know, you may have vowed to lack in a certain contract to create abundance, but in a different way, and you've held that experience for a reason. There's a gift in it, and it literally is, could be to fit, right, I feel that way, right, I'm done with that contract now, thank you very much. So like when you feel that I am done with it, it's kind of like, right, from that moment you are beginning to create a new contract, you are beginning to rewrite the story, to bring in something new. Love, it could be, you know, those of you that are lonely, you know, you may be feeling into, I'm done with being lonely, right, well, make some changes. You know, you've put the intention into there, which is absolutely beautiful, right? How can I put the love into myself now to get, it's like a worm on the old fishing rod, put the love back into yourself, because if you open your heart, the trapdoor to your heart, so if you are lonely, you've been hurt, so it's time to say, right, do you know what? I want to let go of that unhealed story now, that wounded, and I'm releasing the chainmail from my heart, that I am healed, I'm wholehearted now. Where is it in my life that I can intentionally love things? And it could be literally kind of like loving your teapot in the morning. That is in itself intentionally opening the heart space. So then if you are energetically placing that into your field, then it will also place it into magnetizing relationships that you could practice that intention into as well. So it's funny how it's all going to work. And so you are magic. So it literally is, how can you embrace your magic self right now and reconnect with it? Live in intentionally, living from the heart space. Where is it that my trapdoors are open, and where is it that my trapdoors are closed? And it could literally be sat in traffic and it's kind of like, you know, and you're complaining about what somebody else has done, or you could be at work complaining about what somebody else has done. But when you come home to your family and your spouses, then if you've got that in your field, the complaining and the shut heart to another being, you're coming home and you're bringing that into your home, and you're bringing that into relationships with your family and your spouses. So you're closing this off. So another way of showing up could be intention living. All beings on the road today are going to be considerate. Give it a whirl, place it into your field and see how others turn up. Interesting. And if, somebody lets you out, it's kind of like, oh, sending them love. And then you're taking that back into your home, to your workplace, to your relationships with other people. So then you are opening your heart and you are basically signaling to the universe, I want to experience more of that. I want to experience more love in my life. I want to experience more joy in my life. So fall in love with literally everything in your life right now, from the chair you may be sitting on at work. Oh, I really appreciate this chair. It's so comfortable for my bum. If it isn't, can I exchange it for a different one? Or even if you can't, can you just cleanse its energy and just say, I'm cleansing its energy to give it some love. And do it every day until you may fall back in love with it. Yes, you can do this with people. There are some people that we will come up against that don't wish you well, that really don't. They really want to hurt you. And this is because of their own wounds. And it's okay to send them love over your self-respect barrier. But if you get into their vortex with them quite regularly and spend a lot of time with them, then you will also take on board that closed heart energy. So be discerning who you spend time with, who you are around. Be discerning with your intentions, and notice these people that are struggling to open the heart. Send them a bit of love. The only thing is, if you send them love and they've got the trapdoors on the heart, they're not going to receive it, unfortunately. So it could be placing love around them. It could be the house they live in. I love the house they live in. Oh, I'm loving the scarf that you're wearing today. Oh, I like that mug that you're drinking from today. It's place, and as soon as you say something like that, a person with a closed off heart will go, well, I don't like to, and they'll kind of be in that energy. So it's being aware of that at the moment. But even those people are just stuck in a story of hurt. But hurt people, and potentially they will hurt you. So don't be a victim, be the master, have discernment, take yourself out of that vortex, because it will not serve you. You will get hurt, and that's okay, but you will heal. You come away and you heal, you give yourself some space from the situation. We have all got the capacity for healing broken hearts. And a broken heart is just to let more light out. But we learn to heal it and we're good to go again. We learn to heal it and we're good to go again. But if you're continuously with somebody with a closed off heart and they want to harm you because all they're in is a feel of harming themselves, then there will come a time where you need to have discernment and step back and step out. So again, some of you will be in these scenarios as well. There may be teenagers in situations with parents that are finding it difficult, that the parents are holding wounds and their heart is closed off. And these children, teenagers, they haven't got the capacity to leave the relationship because of the situation. If we are a relative of some of these children and teenagers, can we observe the situation not try and fix the relationship and not try and get the two people back together, but how we can support the individuals is for the teenager or child that has got a closed off to the heart parent, which could be they could have narcissistic tendencies, so they could harm at a psychological or physical level, and there's no judgment in how anybody is turning up. But can we offer a little bit of sanctuary or space to the teenager or the child right now, to get them back together with parent is just placing more trauma on trauma right now. So can we show that child some love? If we are able, can we allow the parent to see where their heart is closed off to their children in a really kind, accepting and non-judgmental way, that these are just stories and programs, you know, there's nothing bad in them. And can we support these people going through these situations as well, in whatever way that we can, because not all relationships can be repaired, and in this time some relationships that are toxic need to be let go of, which is really difficult if you're a teenager or a child. But as relatives or friends, family, whomever, can we see it and offer support? Not get involved, but just literally say, you've got a space here if you need it. The narcissistic parent may get angry because you've taken away their quota of energy and love, so you'll get it. Yeah. So have you got enough love for yourself to cope with that, and enough strength to cope with that as well? And it may be kind of like, it may be a time to call it out, to speak the truth. And they are just hurt people, but can they see their wounds are hurting somebody else in their lives, and they are going to lose that relationship if something doesn't give and something doesn't change. So, but there is a chance that these people may not have a capacity to change or listen, because if they are completely set in that story, they will believe and think that their story is right, and no matter what story you have, it'll not change anything. So if they believe that they're always in the right and that you're wrong and the child or the teenager is always wrong, sadly it is an irreparable relationship, and it is harmful to the individual in it. So again, this is just kind of like, so we're in a period of letting go, and there will be relationships. It's, can we just hold awareness and love for this that may be playing out as well? Difficult one. So I will leave my love with you, and my stomach's rumbling now, so I'm going to go for something to eat. So love you all, because I'm going now to love myself. So take care everyone. Bye.